Hey folks, Tom Rayner here. I am so incredibly enthused that Belay is the founding sponsor of the Church Answers podcast. We've always had a great relationship with Belay, and now we have the opportunity to work with them even more closely in this brand new Church Answers podcast. Now, I'm going to say a few things about Belay, but I want you to hear this personally from me, from Tom Rayner. I have used Belay for many, many years. In fact, I even used them before they were called Belay. I'm not going to give you the other name of their company before then. And what I mean is we have found these type of workers to be incredibly effective, incredibly relational, and Belay takes care of everything. You need an executive assistant, and they'll provide it for you. You need a bookkeeper, they'll provide it. They become a member of your team in many ways, but Belay is doing all of the heavy lifting. You know, many of you leaders, there's a moment in your personal and professional life where you realize that you may be in your own way. You know you need help. Let Belay come in. Delegating it to them, it may seem intimidating, especially if you don't know how they can do so. You don't have to worry about reading every email, scheduling every call, responding to every request. You have more time, more energy to work on the things that move the business forward, and you can achieve your big goals both personally and professionally. So I want to just say with a loud acclamation, welcome, Belay. And let me just encourage you. You've got to get this resource. You've got to get this resource. It's free. And it's called Delegate to Elevate. You pastors and leaders and business leaders, incredible resource to talk about how to do delegation. Here's how you get it. It's in the show notes, but belaysolutions.com/Tom Rayner, THOMRAINER. So start trusting your team more. Stop diluting your efforts. Empower yourself to courageously focus on your strengths and delegate your weaknesses. In no time, you'll do what you're supposed to do. Lead your church effectively, or if you're in a business, growing your business. Once again, we welcome Belay as the founding sponsor. And once again, get that downloadable at belaysolutions.com/Tom Rayner. Welcome to the Church Answers podcast. My name is Tom Rayner. This is still a new podcast. I mean, we're in the third week, but this is episode number 9. And if you've listened to any of them, you know that we're releasing 3 a week. They're short. They're 10 minutes at most. And we try to provide a nugget or two, sometimes a little bit of a story that will provide maybe for some of you a little bit of levity, sometimes a little bit of background on someone like Donald McGavran. But for the most part, these are just nuggets that we're providing. And I hope the cumulative effect is that there are several nuggets that will end up proving highly valuable to you. Hey, if you're enjoying this, go give us a rating or a review on wherever you listen to this podcast. Or if you're on YouTube watching this, give us a like and also subscribe there. And thank you for doing so. One thing I also want to mention, I mentioned in another podcast, if you're not a part of Church Answers, our community, go to Church Answers membership. The link is in the show notes. And for only $9.97 a month, you can get any question you want answered at any time by both the community of nearly 2,000 people and by us subject matter experts. And you get a lot of other resources on top. So I just wanted to mention that as we go into episode number 9. This has flown so quickly, but we are here and we're ready to go. This one is called The Case for Thursday Night Worship. If you happen to listen to episode 8, I'm not presuming you did, so I'm going to give you a little background. In episode 8, I presented the question to myself, should you hire a friend to work with you or to work for you? And the answer to the question was, it depends. There's not a clear answer. I tried to provide some guidance. I tried to provide some insight, not only from my experience, but from the experience of hundreds, if not thousands of leaders. And I tried my best to give you some guidance, but there's no clear answer to it. It's not a yes or no. It depends. All right. Should you have a Thursday night service? It depends. It depends. Now, we need to look at why some churches have chosen not to have a Thursday night service. That's a fair question. Well, for one, they may have never thought about it. For two, they may be right now at maximum capacity with their staff, and they just have nowhere else to go. 3, they may think that there's another time slot that is better. And again, all of those are legitimate reasons. And so that's why I have to say it depends. Thursday night may not be for you. Now, Tom, Why are you mentioning Thursday night? Why not Saturday night or Sunday afternoon or Monday night? And I could go on with different time slots. I'm mentioning Thursday night because it's popping up more frequently. I don't have precise data. My comment is anecdotal, but I think it is pretty verifiable that we're seeing more and more Thursday night services. Why is that? Now, let's first of all ask the question, what does another service do? Whether it is a service on Sunday night or a service on Saturday night, or just another campus, what does that do? That's called horizontal growth. And that means you have another bucket to grow in. And when you create these new buckets to grow, each of those grows on its own. So the fastest source of growth in churches today is not putting more people in one service or even more people in multiple services on Sunday morning. The fastest growth is creating other campuses, venues, or unique times like Thursday night. So horizontal growth, as opposed to vertical growth, is the fastest growing system that most churches have. So that's one of the reasons you can consider Thursday night. It is a form of horizontal growth. We advocate, again, this is not silver bullet. You can do with it whatever you want. We advocate that if you decide to do a Thursday night service, that you do so in a simple fashion. In other words, we recommend you do it family style. That means no childcare. Music would be simple, perhaps one acoustical guitar, and brief. Instead of 60 to 95 minutes or whatever the case may be, that'd be long. 60 to 75 minutes, what I meant to say. You make it a 45-minute service because people are going in for dinner. Obviously, this is a different type of time. So we advocate that if you do Thursday, you may look at it as a more simple family style. Kids can come, babies can cry, maybe one instrument and one person leading a brief message, and that's it. Now, okay, parenthetically for just a moment, why Thursday night? Well, again, we're seeing a lot of them pop up, so that's part of it. We're just watching them. But Thursday night seems to be a time that a lot of people say, I can do that. I can come in from work and I can go to Thursday night. Or some people say, I like long weekends. I go place on long weekends. And we've actually seen some churches start Thursday night, and some of the members will go to the Thursday night service when there's a long weekend, and they may be going to the beach or to the river or whatever the case may be. And they want to be in church, but they're going to be gone for a long weekend. Thursday night seems to be hitting that particular need. So those are some of the reasons behind Thursday night and why we would advocate it. Horizontal growth, and you can make it simple. And you should make it brief. Now, I would also recommend that if you've never done anything like this before, you try a Thursday night service on a trial basis. You don't want to make it a part of your permanent rhythm of the church, where if it fails, you take it out and it is like you have missed something major. In a major change like this, you have the opportunity to say, folks, we're going to try this. Okay, the question is, how long should you try it? I would like to see most churches try it for a year, but at least 6 months. But give it a chance for at least a year. You know, who preaches that? Well, your pastor may preach some of the times there. You may raise up a lay leader. You may have a staff person. But the point is, you have to make the decision who's going to be the preacher. For the preacher, it's obviously another time for that person to be away working. So you have to decide that. And that's one of the reasons many churches have not gone to other than Sunday, because it's just one more demand upon the pastor who already is overloaded. So you may want to share that load. I would recommend that the pastor be there at least some of the time. Okay, what have been the results of this? Don't really know, but I'm going to say anecdotally that we think that they overall have been successful. I would bet that a majority of these have been successful, and churches are now implementing them more into the rhythm of their church. I do see this as an opportunity to reach people that you were not heretofore reaching. It's an opportunity to put out ads like on social media and other places. Hey, introducing our new Thursday night service. It's 45 minutes. It's informal. Bring your kids to the service. We'll have just a little bit of music and a message, and that will be it. It's an opportunity. And, ultimately, I would like someone to be a part of a more full service and maybe integrate them in. So it could be an entree point for people who are not currently going to church. In addition to the entree point, it can be a point where people who are leaving for the weekend can go as well. One final word about Thursday night services. Get some commitments from your members to be a part of that service for the trial time, 6 months or a year. Send them as missionaries to be a part of that. You want a base there. You don't want no one there at the beginning. You want a base there. We're going to continue to watch this. We're going to continue to watch the trends in Thursday night worship, but we think it's growing, and we'll let you know one way or another. Once again, thank you for being a part of the Church Answers podcast. We now got 9 done over 3 weeks. Remember, we give you 3 every week. They're no more than 10 minutes. You listen to them or watch them, and you're done. So now you have 9 that you can binge on real quickly. As always, we thank you for being a part of the Church Answers family. We'll see you soon. Tom Rayner back with you. Before we leave this podcast, to just thank again Belay for being the founding sponsor of the Church Answers podcast. Hear me very well. I said it at the beginning. I'm going to say it at the end. We have used Belay at Church Answers for several years. We've had incredible workers that they have sent us, and Belay takes care of everything. They take care of paying them. They take care of all of the what would be paperwork now, e-work. They take care of it all, and you are free to do the things that you need to be doing as a pastor, as a business leader. So go to Belay. Go to belaysolutions.com and do this. Go to belaysolutions.com/Tom Rayner. That's ThomRainer. When you go to Tom Rayner, don't forget the H in Tom. And get this download. It is incredible. Delegate to elevate. I can just promise you with this download, you'll get new insights of how to free yourself to do the things you love to do the most. Thank you, Belay. Thank you for being who you are. Go to that download, belaysolutions.com/Tom Rayner, ThomRainer.